shit. This recording? Alright, I'll have to cut this out. Happy Friday. Hey guys, to everyone here for the premiere. Don't tell the rest of the viewers, but you're my favorites. Hey guys, to everyone watching this later. I still appreciate you. I don't know how this happened. It seems like we've branched off now and somehow connected Jacob to events with PWCC and Mark's Cards. Maybe more. Last week we connected him to the Collectibles Guru. It seems like it just keeps getting deeper. All of my videos are just coming together into one giant video. I didn't expect it. I don't know how anyone else would have. I just don't know how it happened. It's like the Gotham villains of the Pokemon community are all here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Pussy of the Round Table, but it's basically just a big silicone puck with a bunch of orifices. And I feel like I slapped that on the dining room table, and they're all here to hype dog into it all night. We're going to start off here with some Pikachu DMs and explanations. I did ask him some questions afterwards. I asked him, I guess primarily, if there was any chance the Instagram account who contacted him about the case was Jacob, Justin, or Micka. And he says he spent hours trying to find those original messages, but couldn't find them. Maybe the account was deleted. I don't know if it was any of them, but at this point, nothing would surprise me. And then he sent me over some DMs to show proof that he never intended to keep the case from Logan. So we'll take a look at those real quick. With the first one here, we have Shine's post, Shine150, where he acquired the fake case. Logan Paul is sending some question marks and exclamation marks to the Pokaju, saying basically, WTF, why did this not come to me? And so the Pokaju, Michael, says, yo brother, yeah man, I tried everything I could to get the case to go to you, but my business partner, who I kind of regret getting involved, had more of the power of attorney on handling the box, and I was offered a high six-figure commission for it to go to that guy. It was too crazy of an offer not to take. Pays off my house and gives me a huge down payment on a new house. Interesting. Then we have Michael Pokaju saying, good thing is, I've been talking with the guy and he may be looking to sell it not too long from now. I told him to come directly to me when he's ready because it's going straight to you when he does. He's a sports guy, so I know he's going to try and move it soon, and he's going straight to me when he does. Logan says, got it. All good, G. Appreciate you. The Pokaju, Michael says, trust me, brother. You know I got nothing but love for you and looking out for you 100% of the time. And as long as I'm still breathing, I'm here to help you in this hobby, my man. I'm in constant talks with the owner of the case as well, and believe me, I feel he's going to want to move it soon. And when he does, we're going to make some magic happen, brother. And then we got the hype dog, let's fucking go, from Logan down at the bottom here. So, interesting enough. It seems the Pokaju did want it to go to Logan, or at least is saying that in the DMs here. So, how in the world can Jacob let on over and over again on the podcast, everywhere else, that they couldn't do what Shine did when they could have easily just sold it straight to Logan? Again, super fishy that they wanted to sell it to a sports guy, and then somehow it's going to end up with Logan anyway, and it's probably going to get opened before too long. I mean, it could have been quite a while that he held on to it, but it was fairly quick, because as soon as it's suspicious, gotta let it rip. After that, the Pokaju tells me, also I think that it would be important to know that I never received a single penny from the finder's fee from Jacob. So it's weird. It switches between a finder's fee and they were going to split it initially. It's odd. Apparently they were going to split it 50-50, but then Jamil got involved. So here's where I ask some questions. The 6 figures was the promised finder's fee, and he never paid it to you anyways. Did you accidentally find out it was fake later on or something? He's got to be holding more than your opinion over you, especially if he didn't even pay you for it. And the Pokaju says, correct. I was never paid a penny. In fact, Jacob has now stolen 40K from me. He sold my Skyridge and Neo Destiny first edition box to Whatnot for 120K, but only gave me 80K and isn't going to pay me the remaining amount. I swear on everything I hold sacred. I had no idea the case was fake and believed it was real until we opened the case. If I knew the case was fake at any point, I definitely would have alarmed the owners immediately. And I asked any indication of Mealy knowing it was fake other than him immediately going into hiding after my first video. Surely the two of you must have at least had an oh fuck moment when the stories and case details kept getting worse. And he says, yeah, I don't know if Mealy Pops knew either, but again, I never met the guy and only spoke to him on the phone maybe one time and a few texts about the other things like helping him tell the difference between a regular Green Wing base set box and a Shadowless box. Yes, I'll admit, when your videos started emerging, I was concerned because you were able to get information about origin stories and other intel that I didn't have or know about until you posted your videos. Once your second video came out, I immediately felt like the case needed to be opened to verify. No way did I want or hope to keep the case sealed once you started coming out with more info that I wasn't even aware of. And so I ask, was there any reason why they wanted to go to Matt instead, or a reason given to you? And he says, I was given no reason. Logan, who I was originally trying to get the case to, but once Jacob and Jamil got involved, they wanted it to be sold to Matt. Even funnier, Jacob told me he had Elon Musk lined up to buy it, but he pulled out last minute, so they sold it to Shine. So I guess at in the intro to the story, I should have added that Elon was involved as well, apparently. So my reaction is, oh God, LOL. I ask the Pokaju, and the invitation is still there if you would like to. Would you like to hop in a Discord call with me at some point and record? Maybe we can clear some details up now that Jacob is full on throwing you under the bus. And I sent him some details that we'll look at in a minute. The DMs between Jacob and myself, which leads into a whole nother little branch that we're going to go into. Very exciting one. But first we'll struggle through this. I'll give it some thought and let you know. He's been throwing me under the bus since the very moment the case was open. He's lying as always, trying to paint a picture that makes him the victim about everything. He was in communication with the original seller almost as much as I was all throughout. And if he never actually paid you, nope, he never paid me a dime of that money. In fact, he stole $40,000 from me from a sale for my Skyridge and Neo Destiny box. What was your reason for bringing the case lead to Jacob first? And Michael here says, because he was my friend, in quotation marks. We had once done a lot of business beforehand, and he always told me to let him know when any opportunities arise. To that I add, he didn't even have the money for it, though, because he didn't. Was he suspiciously talking to you about bringing opportunities right around the same time? And the Pokaju says, he had me under the impression that he was rich and always had the money. I wonder if he used the $150 million young man line on the Pokaju as well. Plus, he said his lawyer was going to be one of the business partners on the deal. Is that the same lawyer that he was going to come after me with slander charges, I wonder? Yes, he was always frequently checking with me if any business opportunities to come up, and to always bring to him, as he was willing to split profits 50-50. Since he brought in someone to help him buy the case, he offered me a third of the profit. So there's where it changes. I don't know. There's some inconsistencies here. I don't know. Like the Pokaju was saying that he was convinced or he was concerned after my second video. but he wasn't showing that at the time. But maybe just went into defense mode. You guys let me know what you think. For this next part here, before we take a look at the Jacob DMs, we're going to first go through some important points. These were brought up before in prior videos, but we'll take a look at here. Just many references to that Jacob makes to purchasing the other cases that were being sold by the original seller, Justin. And Jacob here claiming all the way through that he bought these other boxes. Story on that changes a lot of times because it's not true. It's just a cover. Why didn't he fake the other 3, etc., etc. But then we have this instance here where we see that the missing first edition box right around here is in the stack of shadowless ones that he claims he also purchased and sold, that these were fine. They obviously weren't. These were the same fake boxes, the same missing first edition box that was picked up by the master expert, authentication master supreme, Steve at BBCE. So what happens when you ask Jacob about the picture here? Surely he notices, surely he knows what's up, and surely he can give us a great explanation on what's going on. All right, now that we got that out of the way, a little reminder that Mr. Jacob Kahuna was letting on the whole time that he was selling and received these other very real boxes from the original seller, Justin. So we sent him a little picture along with a ready to talk question mark. Mostly because we wanted him to know that we know the real deal. We know what's going on. And so he says, there's nothing to talk about. I got scammed. I even circled the first edition on the picture that he sent me, indicating that I knew that these were fake boxes as well, that this was the missing first edition box from that case. And so I asked him, how did you sell the fake shadowless boxes? Made all that up? Question mark face. And so we get a little explanation here from him. He says, look, man, you want to go after me and kick me while I'm down? Enjoy. I had nothing to do with this. I'm not kicking you while you're down. I'm looking for an explanation of why you claimed to buy all these other boxes that were legitimate, but they weren't. And the biggest giveaway is that the fact that one of the fake missing boxes was swapped in with these shadowless ones that you also purchased and verified. Right? Right, Jacob? I had nothing to do with this. I was but a mere middleman. Okay. Pokaju found the case, and me thinking he's a true professional, trusted his judgment. He fully dealt with Justin the whole way through. It's funny because there's this like juggling of I'm a professional, I'm not a professional. Jamil says he's a professional. Jamil says I'm a professional. Everyone's a professional until it's convenient not to be. I remember getting insulted because I didn't have enough vintage cards posted on my Instagram. I wasn't an expert, but they were. Remember that? Jamil brought BBCE and Shine to the table. Well, I don't know. I think that was also your doing. It's weird that he was even involved. According to the Pokaju, it was supposed to be you two, but then you didn't have the money, so you had to get Jamil involved. So it's just interesting. It's really interesting to know who knew what at what point in time. That leaves me as just someone who connected the dots. Or did you orchestrate the whole thing? Believe what you want. I thought it was real, and Pokaju reassured me all the way to the end. I'm no Pokemon expert by any means, but believed he was. I don't know. You guys talked a lot of big game. You were a big boy at Pokeballer 69s. You went on about how you sold all these vintage boxes. You knew what you were looking at. You knew the ins and outs. I was dumb. I didn't know what I was looking at. The case was real. The boxes were real. The other boxes that you supposedly bought in the other 3 cases, they were at the same time, purchased at the same time. In other stories, they weren't purchased at the same time. They were shipped together. They weren't shipped together. That's all I have to say, man. I'm sorry for the things I said to you. It was because Pokaju was hyping me up for that we have nothing to worry about, and you were just trying to gain notoriety. The bribe thing was not me. I'm not an idiot. I would never do such a thing, and especially since I had pure confidence it was real. So, the bribe thing. Never did find out, but I'm sure somebody can find out. 100%. 10,000% if you wanted to use Jacob lingo. That other account was your account. Whether or not you intended to actually pay me $500,000 is a different story. But I do believe that was your actual account. I've never met a hype dog baller that's ever not had Instagram. So for me to believe that you just all of a sudden started using Instagram recently, and you didn't have a personal one before that, before you started getting into the card flips and dips and sketchy wetchies, you want me to believe that you didn't have Instagram before that? I find that very hard to believe. When I hear stories about you pretending that the sports cars outside of your apartment are yours, that's somebody that has Instagram. I have no choice but to go after the 3 of you if you defend him while he spouts nothing but lies to everyone. Who? And then we have the nice little post here that the Pokaju posted, apparently because he was being threatened by Card Kahuna Jacob. He says, with all the layers involved, it may be easy to point outside fingers without direct knowledge of the situation. I want to apologize to all parties involved and the Pokemon community that I love so much. I also want to apologize to Jacob, Card Kahuna. I'm sorry for the day I involved you with this find. He was nothing more than an investor in the case. We were all excited to make Pokemon history and failed due to being scammed ourselves. So this is another, we were all duped, agreed kind of statement. He deleted this. As I ask here, why did he take it down? And Jacob says that was Pokaju's statement. He posted and he deleted it because I'm now going to add him to a lawsuit. For what? Showing you the case? Showing me the case? What did he do that is a lawsuit worthy? Rattle, listen man, Pokaju is in my eyes just as responsible as BBCE. So now, I guess it's Pokaju's fault. It's BBCE's fault. It's not his fault. It's not the original scammer. It's weird that you're not like, what are we going to do? How am I going to get my money back from Justin? Never comes up. Weird. Really, really weird. I'm all ears if you want to explain. Jacob says, he was money hungry to make his commission and push this without doing the proper research. I agree that he didn't. Whether that was intentional or not, I don't know. He was the one in contact with Justin till the last few days, and the reason is he didn't want to let me have his contact till the end because he was scared of getting cut out. For all I know, and we will find out, is if Pokaju received kickback from both sides. Which is weird because Pokaju's saying he didn't get any money from you at all. That you didn't pay him. So how's he going to get kickback from both sides? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why didn't he send the lead to Logan? Did you think he knew the case was fake? Hell, if I knew, I wish he did. So here we go. We have Jacob now saying that he wishes that the Pokaju brought the case to Logan. So we got the boys, the J boys, They have turned on each other hard. Which J-boys are the evil J-boys? Is it all of them? Is it some of them? Who's going to J the others harder? I was lying in bed with my wife. It was late when he called me and was excited and said, "You won't believe what I have." It was maybe 4-5 days after he brokered a deal to sell one of my first edition boxes. Like I told you from the start, I'm sorry for the way I spoke to you that day. It was right after Pokaju told me how he's so sure it's good. I'm going through a hard time mentally because of all this happening. I'd appreciate it if you don't show this one post. Oops. Hell if I knew. Why didn't he send it to Logan? I wish he did. Just wanted to make that clear. So, yeah. There's obviously some turn of events where it didn't want to go to Logan. Why would the Pokaju, who so desperately wanted Logan to love him, and anything we've ever seen, including the DMs, he still wanted it to go to Logan. He was still pushing it to go to Logan. He wasn't saying, no, you probably don't want this. There was no indication of that. So it seems like the Pokaju did in fact want it to go to Logan in the end, or probably in the beginning. There's no reason that Jacob shouldn't have wanted it to go to Logan. He would have paid more money than some sports collector that doesn't care. He ended up paying more money. So I asked, have you been in contact with Justin since the case was opened? And that was back on February 22nd. This is the next interaction I had with him is March 24th. So it's been over a month. No reply. Doesn't give a shit. Doesn't want help finding Justin. I'm sure he watches all the videos. Why wouldn't you say, hey, Rattle, you're so damn good. Help me find Justin so I can get my money back. Shouldn't that be priority? Shouldn't it be? Did you pay Justin anything? I know you didn't pay for, before it came over. Was maybe Jamil was the only one that paid him. Again, this is all my opinion. This is speculation. So, until we know more. Today, huge find here. It was actually not necessarily today, but recently. I had a certain Chase Rhymes reach out to me and said, hey, did you notice, this was about a week ago, that Mr. Card Kahuna Jacob is liquidating? And so I asked Jacob. I said, hey, Jacob, who did you buy this from? Wanted to see where he got it from. I was originally told that this came from Eric Myers. Someone thought that it probably was purchased from him. They might have been mistaken because both Chase and Jacob are saying that it came from Chase. And I asked him if Eric Myers owned it at any point. As we'll discuss, Eric Myers says that he's not aware of the fact that he owned it. I kind of believe that he didn't. It probably would be posted on his Instagram unless it was removed. Jacob says, I have no idea. Someone mentioned that he sold it to you. No, I bought it from Chase. Were you aware that it's trimmed? He says, it's not. You can call PSA. Why am I going to call PSA? To ask if it's trimmed when it's in a BGS case, Jacob. So here I'm asking if it's sold on PWCC. That we don't know. We got some weird little sketchy mysteries going on that we need to look into here. And I'm about to give you all the details. At least everything I have. There's still some fill in the blanks. If anyone has additional details, I'd appreciate it if you reach out. But let's get into it. I think we have most of the puzzle here. Pretty interesting stuff. Starting out here, we have the live view of the Card Kahuna Instagram page. And notice something might be missing. Now, as you remember, I'm sure I mentioned it a couple times. Our boy, Jakey Wakey, he likes to delete things. He likes to remove things, especially important things. So we have to record everything. Yes, I recorded his entire Instagram before he could start deleting stuff. So we look here. Wait a minute. That last post is gone. Where did the Kobe Bryant go? Kobe. Rest in peace. But where did you go? Here we have it. The actual post from the recording. Got to keep a record. And very, very interesting nonetheless. So, what's going on here? Is Jacob liquidating? He's selling off his collection, maybe to pay Shine back, maybe to pay his lawyers. Who knows? Maybe he's just pumping and dumping. Maybe he's trying to get something out of his hands that's a little on the sketchy side. Oopsie doopsie, here it is on PWCC a week ago. Very cool. Now, interesting enough, if it wasn't for the fact that the person that sold it, the Card Kahuna, reached out to me, told me about how this was trimmed, told me about how Card Kahuna Jacob knew it was trimmed and purchased it knowing that. We might not be looking at it right now. So this is how we have Card Kahuna in the PWCC era. We had a recent video on PWCC, a couple before that. Some interesting stuff going on. So let's do a little deeper dive into this. God bless cert numbers. God bless grades. God bless the internet for cataloging everything, because it makes it so easy. Would you look at this? We have a little PSA submission form from a Michael Menares. Yes, it's him, Mark's Cards. He also possessed this card at one point in time, and he tried to cross it to PSA. Paid $5,000 to do so. Here's the paperwork. Pretty wild. What happened, you might ask? What happened when he sent this BGS 9.5 over to cross to a PSA 10? What was the result? Well, I'll tell you what the result was. It was a big old label with the old Evid trim. The card was trimmed. PSA did not want to cross-grade it because it was trimmed. So, interesting enough, this was actually the fourth time, according to what I'm hearing. Again, the details a little murky at this time. Exactly what happened before this incident, where our boy Mark's Cards, the bankruptcy 69er, before he went off into the abyss after not paying PSA the grading fees that were paid to him, after pulling the old parachute, jumping ship, you might say. I guess $5,000 was spent on this, so we can add that to the tally, to the expense report for his bookkeeper that apparently is to blame. I don't know if she wrote the $5,000 down or not. We look now. Weird. Nothing. We can't. We go into previous auctions. Nothing there. What happened to it? Did they remove it? Did it not sell? Does anyone know? What happened if something's not paid for? So let's use the hypothetical. Maybe like Jacob was shilling the crap out of it, and then it wasn't paid for. Does that disappear, or does it stay on there as sold? I checked. There's no post saying record sale, unfortunately, for this one, for the unpaid items. In this case, we weren't fortunate enough to get an unpaid record sale post on Instagram from PWCC. But you never know. Maybe it's on the back burner. Maybe it'll pop up any day now. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. So first off, I'd just like to say that Chase did warn PWCC that this was an altered card, that it was trimmed. It seems like they didn't want to do anything about it. We're going to take a closer look at that later. But you would think, at least with PWCC, with their expensive items, with how easy it is to just hop on to the BeckettAuthentication.com/verify certificate, that they would punch that sucker in just to make sure that there were no issues. But no, they don't. That would take too much work. And what are you paying them for? They don't need to check if your cards are authentic or not. Who gives a shit? It's all shilled to hell anyway, right? Allegedly. So if we punch the cert number in, we give it the old 8229 CAPTCHA. We go hit verify. What do you guys think is going to happen? Leave it in the chat right now. I'll give you a minute. Live chat for those of you watching the premiere. Down in the comments. Pause the video right now. Type it down there. I want to see what people think. Is it going to be real? Is it going to be authentic? Is it going to give us information? Is it going to tell us that someone took the old scissors to it? All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh, no record found. Damn it. Can you believe that? Why? At the same time, I can't even talk to BGS. They don't want to talk to me. I'd like to think that I can help them, but they don't think the same. They don't speak to my kind. And, I'm sure I could provide some helpful information, but they don't want to hear it. They say, Rattle, fuck off. You're just going to make us look bad. So this is what I have for you. This is what I have for you, BGS. You got trimmed cards floating around, trying to get graded at other companies, cross-graded. Could be a pretty good reason why it was rejected as well. Maybe the 4th time. Maybe when Mark sent it, it was already no record found. It's funny they don't have some sort of a disclaimer there saying it's inactive or deactivated like PSA does. It just says no record, like it's a fake label. It's not a fake label. They graded it at one point in time after it was trimmed. All right, let's talk a little bit about Eric and my conversation with him. Eric Myers from PWCC. Eric knew right away that Jacob owned it. We learned that Jacob and Eric are good friends, that they share DMs. I was talking to both of them at the same time, and Eric screenshot and showed me a conversation that he was having with Card Kahuna himself. So there you have it. We have another hype dog that's hanging out with J Baby Jacob. I don't know, guys. I don't think that turns out well for people. I don't, if you want to ask the other J boys how that worked out for them, they can probably give you some advice. He was adamant on the fact that it wasn't trimmed, and BGS would have caught that. He doesn't think that he ever owned it. I kind of believe that he probably never owned it because he posted the other cards, similar cards. And he would probably have it on there unless he's trying to avoid it. There's no indication when I traced it back through the previous owner from multiple stories. Someone that tells me that they tell Card Kahuna Jacob that it's trimmed and is coming to me with that information is certainly not a friend of Jacob's because it's not helping him any. So I have to believe that story, that it was sold from him. Also, it seems Eric, tends to believe that it was sent to BGS multiple times, resubmit to BGS for a regrade, and that they never had an issue with it. He didn't show me any kind of information that led me to believe this, but maybe he knows something that I don't. Maybe there's more to the story in the very beginning. Kind of made some excuses that it's PSA, just they're being assholes because it's a BGS lab. They kick back hundreds, if not thousands, quote, of other grading companies' cards just because. They're just saying it's trimmed because it's a BGS slab. I don't know why they would. Surely they'd like to change the case that it's in. Maybe they don't want to put a 10 on it, but they're not going to send it back as trimmed if they don't actually think it's trimmed. And again, if this has happened 4 times, which I'm hearing, at least once that we have solid evidence of Michael Marks sending it in. We have the return. We have the paperwork. We have the label that they sent it back with, saying that it was trimmed, that it was rejected. And then the story is that it was sent in 3 more times before that. So PSA is probably just tired of receiving it at this point, and now it's going to get passed on to somebody else by the knowing Jacob, who knowingly submit it, is going to sell it. Someone else is going to end up with it. They're going to try to cross-grade it, and they're going to get shafted. They're going to spend $5 grand for nothing. If it's even $5 grand anymore, it might be more expensive than that at this point in time. But it's like a hot potato of fuck each other for $5,000. Also, I guess Eric wanted to make a point that the first PSA card ever graded was a trimmed Honus Wagner. I don't think that's relevant to the situation here. He demanded that I have real evidence before I come to him with accusations or anything of the sort. I then show him the cert that is not active on the BGS website, and he immediately changes his tone. He's now going to look into it. I don't know why it's not common practice when BGS or when PWCC is listing a BGS PSA card, or they don't just look up the cert, make sure it's active, make sure there are no issues with it. Apparently they have a spreadsheet of some kind that they go through of like warning cards. But I think the easiest way, anyone can do it. You just go on the website and type the number in. You're going to type the number in anyway. You can copy paste it from your spreadsheet or whatever you use to make your listings. Just 10 seconds. Easy peasy. Next, I'd like you guys to take a little notice here of the stupid gold sticker that's on the Beckett case. Apparently, this makes you double official. This is some of the most gimmicky shit I've ever seen. This is like NFTs, scratch and sniff, stickers combined. And just grading the graded card. Not only that, we are going to put an extra certification with a nice little booklet or case, hard case, to go with this trimmed card. Not only is it trimmed, it's authenticated by Beckett. God knows the cert number probably wasn't even active when they added this little gold sticker. And some of you are probably saying, what the hell is that shit? Why is there a gold sticker on it? Well, that's this. It's got the Mike Baker authenticated sticker for your slabs. They'll slap that little baby on there, and you're extra certified. No worries. Extra guaranteed plus. If your slab isn't slabby enough, get a sticker for it. Here we go. We got why diamond stickers elevate your card from the rest. It has been certified after meeting our strict quality standards. NBA Diamond Ambassadors are active bidders and buyers of multiple NBA cards. Currently the wanted list. So apparently they're saying that you can make more money with your card because it has a sticker on it. But what does the sticker mean when you have a trimmed card that was both graded and regraded and then denied by another company? And then that doesn't set off red flags for, like, are these guys not in the loop? Are these guys just... This reminds me of, like, when you go to get your vehicle inspection. I don't know how much of the world has that, but here in Canada, you have vehicle inspection. You get the safety stickers, and you always have that, like, back alley mechanic that's just, like, selling stickers instead of actually making sure your vehicle is safe. He's going to slap one of those on. You just got to pay him for it. This is the grading world equivalent. God. For anybody that's wondering, how can you be sure that Chase showed PWCC that the card was trimmed? Here are the DMs. Straight to Jason Mills from PWCC. So they were aware. Did they do anything? We don't know. It doesn't seem like it, according to what Eric was talking to me about. But who knows? Again, we got the great big PWCC curtains are closed for business. Don't look in here. There's there's a hype dog circle forming, and we don't want you to see what's going on. Last but not least here in the video, let's get into a little bit about Justin, the original seller, since none of the OG J boys want to talk about it at all. It seems like Justin's just a cool dude. He definitely didn't scam you guys. You definitely shouldn't be looking for him. You definitely shouldn't assist Rattle Pokemon in figuring out what he's doing, getting your money back. That's long gone. Forget about that. Also, handwriting. We got this side up, fragile. Pretty goofy style. We got another shot of it here. As you can see, the person seems to tilt back and forth when they're writing, a la 3rd grade. And then if you see here where Justin in his PJ pants, his Edmonton Oiler PJ pants, writes Jacob's name next to the fake boxes that Jacob pretended to buy and sell to people that were legitimate, super legitimate. Pretty similar. We got a little bit of a back and forth going on. The A is extremely similar, capital A. Unfortunately, he didn't write in all caps in this one here. But I think it's close enough that you can say that it was probably him that wrote on the box. So, as you guys might remember, although it's been a pretty long time now, the original case that was being sold on eBay, the account was still up. Got a chance to capture all the information in terms of previous purchases and feedback and everything else. Reached out to a bunch of the people that they did business with. And one of which was Mr. Proxy Cards UK, which also should have been a red flag from the beginning. If somebody's buying proxy cards, and they also claim to have a gold mine worth of Pokemon cards that they found in an attic, or whatever story you want to believe, or whichever version you want to listen to at the time, all 69 of them. We have Mr. Proxy Cards UK here, was standing out, and it's right within the name. He sold the fake Charizards to Justin, as we'll see here. Super duper proxies. He reached out to me, or somebody else tried to put him in touch with me, wanting a reward from Logan for the information. He was going to save the day, but only for money. Just goes to show you what kind of shitty person makes fake cards and then wants a reward because they have information. He's claiming he didn't want to ruin his integrity by sharing customer information, but at the same time, he's selling fake cards. He's selling counterfeit goods. His eBay account was banned, and only willing to be involved with bad business practice if he's getting a reward, if he's getting something out of it. He's claiming that they're only proxies, but oopsie doopsie, look at this. Here's a great example of how you sold to a scammer, if not one of the biggest scammers. His dumbass was trying to give me some clues. Thought he shipped to California. Turns out the CA was Canada, not California. It didn't really have any new information. It turns out it's just the same P.O. Box address as Justin's ID. Is it helpful? A little bit. But at the same time, not really. You're not really giving us anything extra to work on. It is nice to see that he's buying fake cards in advance. It does give us a nice little tidbit to know that he knew he was doing something wrong because he was doing something wrong before that. And I think that's probably what we're going to get into next week, maybe the week after, depending on how much I can dig up. I Again, I'd really like to talk to you, Justin. If you'd like to share your side of the story, answer your phone. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a blast. Love doing these premieres on Fridays. Thanks for tuning in live. Thanks for watching this later. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If there's anything that I missed, anything that I go over that you see that I don't see, anything that you can add to the investigation, always appreciated. Have a good one.